Hello dear friends, my name is Jitendra Bafna. I am a senior MuleSoft architect. In this video, we're going to see how to implement OAuth 2.0 for MuleSoft application using JWT Validation policy and Auth2 Authorization Code. Okay, so Auth0 is the OAuth provider, whereas Authorization Code is the grant type. Okay, in my previous video we have seen how we can implement OAuth 2.0 for MuleSoft application using Auth0 client credential. So client credential, authorization code, implicit code, password, refresh token, these are the grant types. So what does grant type means? The way of authentication is different for each grant types. So we are passing the parameter, way of calling the URLs, it's bit differ. Okay, let's consider in client credential we can directly send the client ID and the client secret to get the access token. In case of authorization code, first a client has to authenticate himself by putting username and the password. Once he has authenticated himself, okay, then he can call the token URL where it will send client ID, client secret and the code which we have get during the authentication, and the token will be generated. Let me show you with some diagram. I have some good diagram. Let me show that. So I am searching for that flow diagram. So there are few terms you have to keep in mind: a resource owner, authorization server, resource server. Okay, so what happens? The first thing, you have to register a application on OAuth provider. In this case, Auth0 is OAuth provider for us. We will register application. Once we register application, it will give a client ID and the client secret. In first step, a client will send a client ID. Just forget about this client secret. This is wrong. Okay, it just send the client ID to the authorization server with few other parameters like callback URL, scope and whatever. It's sent to the authorization server. Authorization server will validate those information. It will check whether information has been passed is correct or not. If it's correct, then authorization server will redirect to the resource owner. So in what is resource owner? So resource owner will present you a screen where you have to put your username and the password. So you have to authenticate yourself. In this case, we will use the Auth0 as a resource owner, but in the screen it's showing Azure ID, that's fine, but we're going to use the Auth0 only. Once we get authenticated, okay, so it will say, yeah, everything is okay. It will send the response back to authorization server. Yeah, the user is correct. He got authenticated. Now authorization server will send a response authorization code on the callback URL. So it will send a authorization code on the callback URL. Now the client will again call a token URL where he will send a client ID, client secret, the authorization code which we got in the response, So authorization server will validate all this information and we get a bearer token returned back to a client. Then client will normally call the API and sending that bearer token or access token, whatever, into authorization header to the resource server. Resource server, it's calling our API. So we have applied the JWT policy on API manager. It will go and validate the policy. Okay, it will go and validate the token. Once the token is validated, then it will send the response back with the data. We will see that if anything is wrong, it will say invalid token, like JWT token is not available, some kind of error. You will get 401 unauthorized error. Okay, so first let me show you. Let me remove. I have an API, okay, which already deployed on API manager, and that is unsecure. So I want to secure with Auth0 authorization code. What I mentioned in this diagram, first thing we have to create an application in Auth0. So I will go to Auth0. Under Auth0 you can just register for free account, then getting started. You can go to application. By default you will see one application. I can say create application. You can use machine to machine. You can give any name, like I can say MuleSoft demo. I can say create. So you can select this Auth0. So there are various rules and all those things. So one of the scope will be OpenID also in this. Okay, we will going to use the OpenID as a scope. So you can select everything for now. Okay, but you can restrict. If you want few scopes, you can define few scopes only, but I will create everything. So now we have to do some settings. I will go to settings. The first thing, we have to provide the callback URL. If you are not providing the callback URL, because when you send the request, it validates whether this callback URL is allowed or not. So you have to allow the callback URL. In this case, I will use http localhost 8081 slash callback. Okay. The other thing, like you can go to show advanced setting, you can go to grant type, and you can allow the authorization code also. So by default, it's when you select machine to machine, it always select by default it's allow client credential. Otherwise you can select web application or whatever, but you can allow in like authorization code in the machine to machine also. Then you can go to endpoints. Here you will see authorization URL, token URL. So if you see in this diagram, where is my diagram? See, we have to send the request on the authorized URL, so you can get all this URL from this endpoint section. Okay, so let me do the save changes. Then I will go to time zone API. I will apply the policy. This is my API. Okay, I am applying the policy. I will be checking for JWT validation policy. Just select the latest one. Simply say configure. So I want a JWKS URL. So this is my JSON web key set URL that is used to validate the token. You can browse this URL and check. It contains lot of keys for validating the token, and also it contains what algorithm has been used, RSA 256. A signature, like it contains private keys, for validating your token. So you should not share this URL with anyone. Okay, so I will send the token in authorization header, the JWT signing method RSA signing key length 256, which we have seen right now. So I have to provide the JW instead of text. You can also provide the text by copying this particular text, but I will provide the URL better. Okay, so I will use JWKS. I can provide the URL, and I can skip the client ID validation, and even you can add some custom, so you can use this particular. If you want to add some scopes or whatever you want to allow, you can add it from here. For now I will keep everything basic. I can say apply. Okay, so I have applied my JWT policy. So now I have to create a authorization URL. I will show you how we can set that authorization URL, what are the parameters required to call that. So what I will do, I will go there and I will copy this authorized URL. Okay, I can paste it here. Okay, so what we require client ID. I will copy that client ID equals to, as I mentioned, we require the client ID. We require scope, which is open ID. Always you can say, you can select other also. I am going with open ID for now. Then you can select redirect URI. What is your redirect URI? So it will be HTTP, the URL which we allowed. Then what else you want? Response type, which is equals to code. Okay, then that's enough. 3 parameters. I think one more parameter we require. We provide client ID, we provide redirect URL, okay, we provide response type, and we provide the scope. That is fine. I have to copy the client ID, so I can go to top on this settings. I can copy this client ID and I can paste it here. That's it. So this is my for authorization URL. So I can go here and I can just push question mark. So it's client ID, it's a scope, open ID, redirect URL, and the response type. Now I will. So first step, we have to generate an authorization code, right? In second step, we have to generate a token. So I will copy the token URL also. I can paste it here. Again, I will copy this same thing. We may require many parameters from this only while generating the token. So we want client ID, we want scope. It's fine. That's we can ignore. Redirect. In this case, we also require client secret. So copy the client secret. Okay, so I've copied it, then put and then redirect URL. Response type is not required. Instead of that, we require actual code which we will receive in the request. Redirect URL has been provided. Yeah, the important thing we required is grant type. Grant type, in this case it's authorization code. Okay, so now what I will do, I will use this first URL. So this is my get method. I will copy this. Okay, then I can go to my any other browser. Okay, it is authorizing. So by default, it will ask to access the URL. So let me do, I will use some other browser because here I am already authenticated. So I want to show you from scratch. So I've used some other browser. Just give me a second, it's taking some time. I will paste this URL. Okay, so I paste this URL, the authorization, I will say enter. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, it asking me to put the username and password. If everything is fine, let me do one thing. I'll clear the history here and then I can try again. Just close this. Let's wait. Let me paste it again here. Okay, okay, it's haven't asked me for username and password. It should, like, it's already in my history. Let me clear it. Not last hour, I will say all time. Okay, it's not clearing the history. Just give me a second, because it should prompt me for the username and password. Let me check. Yeah, passwords, and it should be, autofill. Everything should be clear. Let's wait while it's creating the history, because my password is already saved in the history. That's why it's not prompting me for the username and password. It's just the single sign-on. Let me try now. This is very important step. So what we are doing right now, we are performing this step where we are sending client ID and other information. So it will prompt me for a username and password screen, where you will put the username and password screen. See, now it has prompt me for username and the password screen, where I'll put my username and the password. Let's wait while the screen is loading because it's first time. Okay, so I will put my username. So this is my resource owner. So what happened? So it has validated all the information which I have sent as a query parameter. Then it moved to the resource owner. So in this case, resource owner will be auth0, and it will authenticate me. And once it authenticate, it will send a token, or sorry, a code on redirect URL. So you will see, I have to say OK. So now you got this code, right? So copy this code. So this is the code you got on your callback URL. So what is this step? So this is the step, authorization code response, fourth step, right? So now what I will do, I have a token URL. In this token URL, I have something called code. So let me explain once again what is the what we are passing in the token URL: client ID, client secret, which you have copied from Auth0, then redirect URL, which we have used in the previous step, code which has been generated on the callback URL, then the grant type. Okay. So next thing, I will copy this URL and I will go to REST client. And in this REST client, what I will do, I will open a new window. Let's wait while opening it, taking some time. Okay, it's open. Let me paste this URL. The method will be post. You have to change that content type, or you can go to body and you can change your content type to application x URL form, not form data. I will say raw input, and you can just copy this particular body and just paste it in this body. Okay, now send the request. So you got this ID token, which is your JWT token. You can decode this token on jwt.io. So what happened? So let me relate with diagram. We got authorization code, then we perform step number 5, calling this slash token URL. We got the validate access token written, right? Now we will use this token to call the actual API. So let me show my actual API. I will send the request. So this API says JWT token is required. So now I will say authorization bearer space control V, then say. Now you can send the request. So now you got the successful response, right? So this token has been generated. Now if I modify this token, you get invalid token. So that is how you can secure your API using Auth0. Okay, so let me go to JWT also. I want to show you something. So you can decode the token also. Okay, so you can see what are the information available in token. You can see all those information. Okay, various information, the keys and everything. So this is how you can secure your API using OAuth2 with JWT validation policy and Auth0 authorization code grant type. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please click on subscribe and like buttons. Thanks for watching.